Donna Villanueva's email landed like a grenade. Sofia's quinceañera, urgent. Maria read the line items: venue, dress, DJ, photographer, each number colder than the last. The total, $40,000. At the bottom, in bold red, pay this or don't come to family events again.
I didn't flinch. I've been an invoice before. My childlessness turns my income into family property.
Instead of replying, she clicked forward. The recipient field auto-filled with a name the family wouldn't recognize. Elena Hart, divorce attorney. Elena Hart, divorce attorney, opened the forward within the hour. Her focus sharpened with every figure.
Exactly what we needed. A written threat from family. External duress.
Maria hadn't told her family she was separating. Now the email became a weapon. Her phone buzzed with Donna's name. She didn't answer. Her reply would only come through her lawyer. Across town, Donna stared at her phone, a pastry growing stale, waiting for a reply that would never come. But the email wasn't new. For years, her family had treated her bank account like a shared wallet. At a Sunday dinner years ago, her mother handed her the checkbook, chuckling that Maria had extra since no kids needed braces.
Extra. My overtime, my savings, my childlessness, all just extra money for the family.
Her brother Tony once laughed, "You're the rich aunt, not like you're saving for college." The table chuckled along. At another dinner, Donna raised a glass to Maria, who can afford it since she never has to pay for prom or braces. More laughter. Now, in her quiet office, Maria remembered every joke, every expectation, but this time she wasn't paying.
This email is perfect, Maria. It's a textbook case of external duress, your family explicitly demanding you liquidate.
External duress. The legal term made it real. My family is a threat to my financial survival.
Elena added it to a file already thick with past texts. Donna's, you owe us, and think of Sophia. Maria nodded, silent, but her jaw was set. The email was no longer a family dispute, it was a legal weapon. Later that morning, in Elena Hart's glass-walled conference room, the attorney laid out the divorce battle plan.
Your husband is claiming half of everything, including your accounting practice, which you built before marriage. But if we prove you faced external pressure to liquidate assets, we can shield those premarital funds entirely.
He wants my business, the firm I built alone while he was finding himself for 7 years.
Maria slid a thick folder across the table. Inside, years of guilt-laden emails from Donna and others, each demanding money. You don't have kids to spend it on, Donna had written when Sophia needed a school trip. It's just sitting there.
This is a clear pattern. They've treated your savings as communal property. It strengthens our case immensely.
They don't even know I'm leaving him. They think they're just squeezing me. They have no idea they're handing me ammunition.
The husband's attorney was pushing for a 50-50 split, painting Maria as a high earner who owed him parity. Elena clipped the Quinceanera email to the front of the discovery binder. When they see this, his case crumbles. Donna didn't wait long. By noon, her first text landed, not a request, but a fresh accusation. You're ruining your niece's one special day. This selfish silence is hurting Sophia. She sent it to the family group chat, igniting a firestorm of alarm and outrage.
They're all piling on. Cousins, aunts, uncles, everyone I've ever bailed out is calling me selfish.
Then a cousin wrote, "Unbelievable. Selfish. Sophia deserves better than this."
She'll crack. She always does when we make it about Sophia. Then she'll pay, and this will all go away.
Then Tony's private message appeared. "Mar, can we talk? This silence is getting out of hand."
They think I'm the problem. My silence, not their decades of treating me like an ATM.
Maria screenshotted each message, even the emojis, and forwarded the thread to Elena without a word. That evening, she uploaded the screenshots to Elena's portal. Each ping was another exhibit. The next morning, Elena called Maria to her office. The discovery team had unearthed something unexpected from Tony's finances.
Your brother, Tony, has a second mortgage and 5 maxed-out credit cards. He's drowning.
He never told me. Not a word about the second mortgage or the maxed cards. He never asked for help.
There it was on the statement. Loan to Tony, $15,000, never repaid.
This email wasn't just entitlement. It's a Hail Mary to cover his debts, and they were counting on you.
They were always counting on me. But this time, they were counting on me to save them from themselves.
Elena pointed to the date, the second mortgage finalized 3 days before the Quinceanera email.
The timing is not coincidence. They needed my money before the next payment was due.
When we present this in court, his desperation becomes clear evidence of coercion against you.
Maria stared at the numbers, realizing the party demand had nothing to do with Sophia. It was about Tony's sinking ship. 2 days later, in the pasta aisle of the supermarket, Donna's cart slammed against Maria's with a metallic ring.
40 years old, no kids, and you're still cheap. You won't even help your own niece?
The phone in my pocket is recording every word. I just need to keep her talking.
All that money sitting there, and you can't spare $40,000 for Sophia's one big day. You're heartless.
I'll think about it, Donna. That's all I can say right now.
You'll think about it? You've been ignoring us for a week. Sophia cries every night.
I understand you're upset, but I need to go.
Donna's voice rose as Maria backed away, drawing stares from shoppers with cereal boxes frozen in their hands.
She just handed Elena exactly what we needed. A public demand, recorded. Complete with an audience.
That night, she uploaded the audio file to her case folder, adding a note, Exhibit 12 Grocery Ambush. 3 evenings later, Maria sat in her kitchen, tea growing cold, when Elena's video call lit up the screen.
Maria, the investigator, pulled phone records. A week before the email, Tony called your husband.
My brother and my soon-to-be ex. Talking. About what?
We've got a voicemail snippet. Listen.
Tony's voice crackled through the speaker. When she pays for the party, that's your window. Just push her.
That's my brother. That's his voice.
They planned this together. The Quinceanera was a trap to force you to liquidate premarital assets.
A trap. My own brother. He didn't just need money. He conspired to strip me of everything.
This is bigger than a party. If we can prove collusion, his entire case falls apart. We need more.
Maria nodded slowly, the kitchen silent except for the hum of the fridge. She authorized a deeper investigation. No limits. The next evening, Maria's phone rang with a name that made her throat tighten. Sophia.
I knew this call would come. The final weapon, and they sent a child to deliver it.
Tia, why are you fighting with my mom? She says you don't love me anymore.
I'm not fighting, Misha. I love you more than you know. The adults just have things to work out right now.
But my party, it's supposed to be the best day. Mom says without your money we can't have anything.
Donna sent her to break me. A 15-year-old crying on the phone, and I can't tell her the truth. I want you to have a beautiful day, Sophia. But this isn't something I can fix with a check right now.
It's not fair. You were always the one who helped. Why are you being mean?
I'm not being mean, sweetheart. I promise you'll understand someday. I'm not abandoning you.
Sophia sobbed softly, and the line went quiet. Maria held the phone until the screen darkened, then placed the framed photo of her niece gently face down. Elena summoned Maria back to the conference room. On the table lay a freshly unearthed loan document, its implications chilling.
Tony's second mortgage, the one finalized 3 days before the email, was co-signed by your husband's cousin, Victor.
Victor. The cousin who never liked me, who always whispered to my husband about what's yours is his. He's in on it too.
They're all connected. Your brother, your husband, his cousin, they've been waiting for you to break under the family pressure.
The signature was unmistakable. Victor Reyes. Same mailing address as the husband's for the last 6 months.
They built a financial ambush, and my silence was the only thing they didn't plan for.
This link proves the demand wasn't coincidence. It was a coordinated attempt to compromise your premarital assets.
How deep does it go? Is Dawn a part of it, or is she just Tony's useful mouthpiece?
Elena's investigator was still digging, but the pattern was undeniable. Every financial document pointed to a single goal: force Maria to liquidate. Maria's expression hardened into something cold and unreadable. The family that had used her was about to learn what it meant to be used in return. 2 mornings later, Elena entered the conference room, her tablet held out like a warrant. The screen displayed a single, devastating text message.
Read it, Maria. This is the exact conversation your brother had with your husband.
Once she pays for the quince, she'll have to use savings, then you claim it's all marital.
He wrote it down. My brother wrote the blueprint for my financial ruin.
This is conspiracy in black and white. He directly instructed your husband to claim your assets.
He's not just drowning in debt, he's a predator. And he's been lying to my face while offering to mediate.
This is the smoking gun we prayed for. With this text, we can finish his case before it even reaches court.
Maria's expression went still. A blink of disbelief, then a cold, numbing fury that iced over every soft emotion.
I have exactly what I need. Now I just have to decide when to use it.
Elena set the tablet down with finality. We can move immediately. Maria gave a single, decisive nod. That night, alone in her living room, Maria took out an old photo, her and Tony as kids, before everything curdled.
I loved my brother once, but the man in that text isn't the boy in this picture.
She tore the photo gently down the middle, separating her childhood self from his. Not anger, clarity.
He chose this. He wrote the words that would have ruined me.
At her desk, she opened a fresh notepad and wrote a single line to herself. She wrote, "Sophia gets $500 no matter what, directly, not through them."
They'll never see a cent of the party money, but Sophia won't suffer because of her parents.
Then she called Elena Hart. No hesitation.
File it all. Every piece of evidence. I'm done protecting people who conspired against me.
On the other end, Elena's voice came calm and certain. It will be done. Maria hung up and stared at the torn photograph, her heart finally solid. At sunrise the next morning, Elena Hart mounted the courthouse steps, a sealed binder under her arm.
Exhibit A, the Quinceanera email. Filed with full collusion context, redacting only Sophia's name.
By noon, the packet landed on the husband's attorney's desk, a courier envelope labeled Confidential Discovery Addendum. The opposing lawyer tore the seal, read the first page, and froze. The color drained from his face as he saw the text message evidence.
They've seen it now. My brother's own words, weaponized. There's no pulling it back.
The torn photograph still lay on her desk, a silent verdict. She didn't need to explain herself to anyone anymore. Her phone buzzed with a message from Elena. Submission confirmed. His counsel just requested an emergency call.
Now they'll find out what I really am. Not a wallet, not a pushover. Just a woman with nothing left to lose.
She didn't reply to the text. Her silence had become the loudest thing about her. In her kitchen that night, she poured a glass of water and stood very still. The legal machine was moving, and for once, she wasn't the one being crushed. The next afternoon, as Maria sorted through client files, her phone lit up with a name she had been dreading: Tony.
Mar, hey, I know things are rough with Donna, but I can get her to back off if you just help a little.
Help a little. $40,000. He's standing on the trapdoor he built for me, asking for a handshake. Help a little?
Come on, we're family. Family shares, right? You've always been the generous one.
Maria's grip on the phone tightened until her knuckles paled. She knew every word was being captured by her attorney's recording software.
He's still playing the brother card, not knowing I've read the blueprint of his betrayal. Every word he says is just more evidence. I have to go, Tony.
She hung up before he could fire another lie. Within seconds, The call recording was forwarded to Elena with a terse note, his latest performance. The recording was crisp, every false olive branch, every manipulative plea. It would sit alongside the smoking gun text as proof of ongoing coercion. In her living room, Donna's fury had condensed into something actionable. Maria's silence was no longer just rude, it was a declaration of war.
She's ignoring us? Fine. If she wants to be invisible, I'll make sure the world sees what she's doing to Sophia.
She opened Facebook and typed a post tagging Maria's name for maximum exposure. The post read, "Some people forget blood. When your own sister-in-law refuses to help your daughter's quinceanera, you see who they really are." The notifications came fast. Friends rallied, strangers commented, and an aunt asked Maria in the thread why she was so heartless. Maria didn't see it herself, she'd muted everything, but within the hour, a forwarded screenshot landed in her messages from a cousin.
They're handing me a public harassment case on a silver platter. This will bury them.
She forwarded the screenshot to Elena via email, without comment. The reply came instantly.
Any more self-inflicted wounds? At this point, their help is almost making my job too easy.
That night, Maria opened her calendar app. Mediation was 14 days away. She typed a single note, "I'm ready." 14 days later, in a stark conference room, the mediation began with the weight of Maria's evidence pressing on the table.
Your Honor, we've provided incontrovertible documentation of collusion and external duress. The law is clear on premarital protection.
The mediator read the proposed terms aloud. Full retention of premarital assets to the plaintiff, with all family-generated debts excluded. The husband's lawyer attempted a weak counter, but his voice cracked as he glanced again at the text message exhibit.
They can't fight it. The evidence is a mirror, and they see the conspiracy as clearly as I do.
Maria signed the settlement with a steady hand, the pen stroke severing every financial tie to the man she was leaving.
It's done, Maria. No one can touch your practice now.
The email served its purpose. The family doesn't even know yet, but I'm free.
The husband's attorney packed his files in silence, while his client stared at the wall. A man now legally separated from Maria's assets. Outside, Maria stood in the sun, the settlement papers in her bag. The family still believed she was just being difficult. They had no idea she'd already won. 2 days after the settlement, a process server delivered a legal envelope to the Villanueva home. Donna signed for it. She tore the seal and scanned the first page. The words Exhibit A, Quinceanera email, external duress leaped out.
Tony, get in here now.
Tony appeared from the kitchen, dish towel in hand, his face tightening with sudden alarm.
What is it? What happened?
Donna shoved the papers into his chest. He looked down, and the color drained from his cheeks.
She divorced him? Without telling us?
Not just that. She used our email, our Quinceanera email, as evidence against her husband.
The living room felt airtight. Every penny they had schemed to wrest from Maria was now shielded by a judge's signature. Tony sank onto the sofa. Donna's rage boiled, but beneath it, a colder realization: they had been outplayed, and the party was over. The phone in Maria's home office vibrated. Donna's name lit the screen, but Maria let it ring.
How dare you use family business against your own husband? You destroyed my daughter's party. You selfish.
Maria pressed delete before the venom finished. The voicemail icon vanished.
All that noise. And still, I have only one response left in me.
She opened a drawer and took out her personal checkbook. The pen was steady. The memo line read, "For your future, with love, Tia Maria." She wrote the name on the envelope, Sofia Villanueva, not her parents.
Not a cent for the party. A direct gift to a girl who deserves better than the adults who failed her.
She sealed the envelope and walked it to the mailbox at the end of her drive. The metal clang was final. The check was her last word. $40,000 never left her account, but $500 went to a girl who still called her Tia.
I'm not their ATM. I'm only your Tia, Sophia. And I'm happy for you.
In the Villanueva living room, late afternoon, Donna paced before Sophia, her voice cutting the air like broken glass.
She's trying to buy you off with a $500 check. She ruined your party, Sophia. She used our family email to divorce him.
Sophia stood still, clutching the opened envelope. The check inside felt far heavier than her mother's tirade.
But the memo says with love. Mom never uses that word when she talks about Tia.
Donna snatched the check, her acrylic nail leaving a faint crease across the paper.
This is nothing. She owes you at least $40,000 for what she did.
She didn't have to send anything at all.
Later, in the hush of her bedroom, Sophia smoothed the check and tucked it inside her journal, next to a dried flower from the day Tia Maria took her to the park. When Donna pounded on the door demanding the check back, Sophia simply didn't answer.
Tia didn't ruin anything. She just finally stopped letting them ruin her. And I understand.
A week later, the quinceanera happened not in a rented hall, but in Abuela's backyard, with mismatched chairs and string lights. Abuela stirred a giant pot of pozole in the kitchen, humming, while a sheet cake waited on the counter. Sophia appeared in a coral dress that cost less than a tenth of the original budget, but the smile she gave the old mirror was real. She danced with her grandfather to a crackling bolero on an old stereo, his steps careful, her laughter filling the air.
No DJ, no photographer. Just us. This is what a party feels like.
In a plastic chair by the fence, Donna sat with arms crossed, her lipstick still a shade too bright, her glare untouched by the music. The cake bore the words Felices 15, Sophia in Abuela's shaky cursive, the letters uneven but warm.
Tia didn't forget me. She just couldn't be here. But her love is.
No one spoke Maria's name, but her absence was the quietest guest, and somehow the most honest one. $40,000 never left Maria's account, but a $500 check had planted a seed that not even Donna could uproot. A few weeks later, a pale pink envelope landed on Maria's desk. The return address, Sophia V. She opened it in her living room, the scent of old paper and a teenager's careful handwriting lifting from the note. The note read, Querida Tia, I used your gift for a laptop. I start coding class next week. Te quiero.
She's learning to code. She kept my check. And she hid this from Donna.
Maria pressed the note to her chest, a tremor running through her shoulders. She carried it to the balcony, where the setting sun stung her eyes.
She's going to be okay.
She tucked the note into her desk drawer, beside the torn photograph, a new artifact of survival. The sunset painted the skyline gold, and for the first time, the silence felt like victory. Maria closed the drawer and stood very still, a woman who had finally been heard. The next Saturday morning, Maria's desk was bathed in soft amber light. Her CPA nameplate gleamed, coffee steaming beside it. Her phone buzzed once. The screen flashed Tony. Then the call was auto-blocked, gone without a ring.
He's still trying, but he'll never reach me again. That door is sealed.
She carried her coffee to the balcony, where a sparrow balanced on the railing, chirping at the morning sun. She smiled, watching the bird's complete indifference to family drama. That was its gift. On the other side of town, Donna posted a fresh meme. Karma is coming, audience. Only me. Maria's Facebook feed, opened out of idle curiosity, was a blank gray screen. She had unfollowed everyone months ago. She set the phone down, her attention returning to the sparrow, now joined by a companion on the wire. The two birds chittered and fluttered, oblivious to the human storms that had finally passed. The silence was simply her life now, and she had more than earned every quiet moment. Evening settled over her apartment, and Maria closed her laptop with a gentle click. She had just filed quarterly taxes for her new solo practice. The last boxes ticked, the stress a distant memory. She rose and crossed to the window, the city lights winking on like a slow applause.
I forwarded the email to one person, and that one act was the most honest thing I've ever done.
A breeze lifted the curtain, and with it, the last echo of Donna's voice, Tony's schemes, the whole ugly weight. On her desk, the laptop remained shut. The email subject line, FWD Sophia's Quink, had faded from the screen, a ghost of a weapon long since discharged. Maria leaned her forehead against the cool glass, and for the first time in years, she felt no need to defend herself.
Gracias, Elena.
She opened her eyes to the glittering skyline, not a victory, just a life, finally her own. The screen goes black.